Hey, and thanks for joining me. I am DiggitySC. If you enjoy this commentary, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have a lot of Starcraft 2 replays of really high level of play on there. Very entertaining matches altogether. And this is Love Letters to Blizzard. It's the first in a series, hopefully, and I'm trying to accomplish 4 goals that I may or may not be able to achieve. The first goal is for spectators. There's a lot of people who want to get into Starcraft and watching Starcraft 2, but you've never played a real-time strategy, you don't own the game, and you're very much lost. And I remember seeing the Cracked video where it's like Starcraft is Greek, more or less, was kind of the message of it. I get that, and this is for you guys, or maybe you're a Starcraft player and you have friends and you want to teach them about the game. This is for you, first of all, and primarily. Well, actually, no, secondarily. And I'll get to that in a second. Hopefully this will give you at least even watching one will give you an idea of what to look for in the professional matches and kind of marvel at some of the things that are happening on screen. Second of all, this is going to be very, 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 very basic StarCraft and real-time strategy tips. Really, really, really frontline stuff, and hopefully it'll improve your game. Maybe something will surprise you. Third of all, it's going to end up being a campaign walkthrough just de facto, just because of the format I'm choosing to do this. It really wasn't intended to be that, but that is going to be what it is. And fourth, and this is the primary, most of the entertainment, and I'm hoping, will come from the genius that this game is. And what I mean by that is each level has been handcrafted just masterfully to teach you something, to point towards the multiplayer. Yes, there's plot in the single player, but really they're trying to show you principles through the gameplay and make it intuitive. And I really want to point that out, and I want to show you what they're trying to teach you in each level. And hopefully that will, first of all, give you some epiphanies that will help you improve your game, that will make this enjoyable, and maybe even encourage you to start playing StarCraft 2, and that's really also my part-line goal. So 1, spectators; 2, show you the genius of StarCraft 2. So this level, first of all, is about target acquisition and unit shuffling, and those are the basics of micromanagement, and you may have heard that word before, and I'll show you what all of that means right here. So we've got 3 units up here. Now what I mean by target acquisition is if you can pretend that this Marine just goes sprinting up here and just walks right up. These 2 Marines are obviously going to start attacking first. They have guns, they shoot at range, they are closer, so they're going to start firing on this guy, particularly if they come at kind of a 45-degree angle. He's going to get shot up by these 2 first, and then the third one after that. I can use that to my advantage. Specifically, I can do it so I can not approach in kind of a Congo line like this. Generally, when you're talking about big groups of Marines, or really any attack force, sometimes it's advantageous with melee. You don't want a Congo line like this, unless sometimes you have a beefy unit, you want to keep them alive. There are other times where you just want to move into units and things like that, but again, this is not one of them. Very basic. A better way to do this is to actually spread my units out, and my goal is ultimately to try to force these guys, which probably won't happen just the way they're lined up, but to force these guys to acquire a target individually. So each individual will be shooting at one guy. As a result, aggregately, I won't lose anybody, is kind of the ultimate goal here. Whether that'll happen or not, we'll see. But hopefully that's the way it'll work out. It's a better way to approach this, and I'm definitely going to preserve units through doing what's called unit shuffling, which I'll show you in the fight itself. So here we go. I'm going to do what's called an attack move, which is basically there's hotkeys, or a move, and each hotkey does something. Just using mouse will move my troops around, but if I hit A, you get that little yellow target beacon, and I click there, that means they're going to move forward and attack. And so here I see that guy's taking damage. Oops, that was actually bad, but hey, ended up working to my advantage, actually. You saw that guy was taking damage, so what I attempted to do, and I didn't actually single click, I had all the Marines, so a big snafu, but I'm just going to roll with it because it wasn't too terrible. This Marine took damage, and so what I did is I was attempting to click him and move him out of battle. And if I move him out, basically what happens is you saw what happened to those other 3 Marines. They went, oh, I don't have someone to shoot at anymore. Okay, well, I'm going to run forward and try to get another target. They also moved into my army. As a result, they were running forward instead of attacking, and as a result, Raynor ended up killing 2 of them. So worked out pretty well. Now let's go into a little bit more advanced target acquisition in micromanagement. I'm going to take my healthy guys, put them up front. I'm going to take my less healthy guy and stick him in the back. So if I end up fighting something up here, These guys get attacked first. This guy can run up and join the fight a little bit later. I'm doing that so this guy doesn't die right away. If this guy only had 1 health, he still would be shooting and doing full damage for whatever he's doing. And I shouldn't use the word full damage, but whatever. He's still going to be in the fight. And that is the essence of micromanagement. It's essentially sticking and making sure that your troops survive longer than your opponent's troops. And that is really one of the basics of real-time strategy and one of the hallmarks of Starcraft. And now I'm going to get an annoying cutscene. Go ahead and kill that. For whatever reason, it wouldn't let me. No units can't handle that command. I couldn't handle attack command for some reason, not sure. This guy's still relatively in the back, so I'm going to... let's have him stagger back right there. Here, this is another nice scenario. So that first grouping was obviously to show you a little bit about unit shuffling. I think Blizzard intentionally set it up that way. This is to show you about target acquisition and more in kind of that troop alignment a little bit more important way. This car and this lamppost are creating a nice little funnel for my units, and what you're going to see as I attack move into these troops is a little bit of shuffling in the back lines. These guys are going to run into each other. They're not going to be attacking these troops. I'm going to take a little bit of damage. It's not efficient. I think the most efficient thing to do would be moving those troops up there, but nevertheless, I'm just going to attack into this and watch. And you see how these guys are running around? This guy's not even participating in the fight. So right there, not the most efficient thing I could have done. And that shows you a little bit more, again, about advanced target acquisition. So when you're seeing professionals and when you're seeing really high-level player, or even in your own game, be sure that you're keeping in mind target acquisition and keep an eye on it and watch how guys brilliantly basically position their troops and do things like that to get an advantage in the game. And once again, I'm kind of putting the weak guys in back and kind of putting the strong, healthy guys in front.
This is starting to look
now,
ugly.
up here, there's a nice autosave for me. Up here,
Commander,
this is what's called a micro puzzle. What I mean by this is
town.
classic Blizzard micro puzzle. You've got units, and you can see where they'll drop. I'm just going to actually let them die, hopefully, with the autosave. You can see these units are surrounded, and it's not that if I just let them fight it out, they actually get annihilated. In fact, there's still 3 guys left on the line here, and I don't think this guy... Okay, that guy does survive, but there's still 3 left. Now, granted, I could attack into them with these units as well, but what I'm really hoping to do is maximize the amount of units I have at the end of that fight. And the way I'm going to do that is, again, by abusing kind of the target acquisition and by doing a combination of, target acquisition unit shuffling, like I've been talking about the entire time. And so hopefully I can load this autosave. It's only on hard. I would recommend setting it to brutal. I usually play on brutal, but again, this is for tutorial stuff. And the units were dying too fast. It was kind of hard to... It's not that I couldn't unit shuffle them, it was just that it was kind of fast and difficult to demonstrate. So, always try to play beyond your means, though, I would say. And that's kind of the lesson of Starcraft, is be better tomorrow than you were today. That is the essence of Starcraft. So here I'm going to attack with these guys, and with these guys I'm actually going to back them out of the fight. You see what's happening here, and I can shuffle them back. I'm not doing a good job clicking here because it's late at night. But you see how I came out with much more troops at the end of the day. A lot more. An annoying guy talking at me. But because I was able to, and I could have done that even better. In fact, I could sit here all day. In fact, I think I'm going to do it one more time and see if I can do it better. I could sit here all day and just play this particular section over and over again until I have this essentially perfected. And you're going to come into this in all parts of Starcraft. The single player has a lot of these things kind of created, but that's what makes multiplayer and watching pro games even more interesting, is because you went and here I'm actually gathering in the center of town.
Then it's time to call in that special delivery we talked about.
And here we go. Back out. Back up. Back up. Back up. And here, I think I did that actually a little bit better that time. Not positive, but pretty sure. You guys can count and double check. I don't need to count that guy. But these little micro situations come up all the time in the multiplayer, just naturally through the flow of the game. And again, it's up to guys in a split second to just, without seeing it coming, just 5 seconds, not even 5 seconds, half a second, a fourth a second, as quickly as possible, figure out what they need to do, and then execute. And the player who does it better usually ends up ahead overall, and just in a much better position as a player. And once again, I'm going to take these troops that are weak, shuffle them to the back, and I'm not doing well with my clicking, because it is late night for me. Hopefully you guys are watching this during the day and having an absolutely fantastic day. Now marching forward. Anyway, this last portion is going to be, again, kind of... again, basic target acquisition. So what I'm going to do is, oh, no, it was done with me. I just kind of ended up making my troops flood out in a way I didn't want them to. It's a little bit easier to use your wireframe down here when you're actually doing some troop shuffling. So like when you have the wireframe like this, you can click on your red troops, pull them back. Again, a little bit tired, so I'm not doing this as well as I normally would. I'm really a better player than I'm showing here. And again, I'm going to kind of move them up because that will shoot me. And so I want to kind of have them bunch up in two groups as efficiently as possible. So here, there. So they're engaging. I'm going to move that guy out. And unfortunately, oh, actually that worked out perfectly. Awesome. I feel good about myself now. Kill that before it starts talking.
Thank you, Rainer.
Now these little villagers, and this
There's
is kind
more
of
people
spoiler.
still being held up ahead.
Again, these villagers are going to start
I'll see to them.
attacking, and let's pretend I want to save as many civilians as possible, and that's my own personal goal in this, rather than killing them all. I think the ultimate goal is like, yeah, Rainer must survive, destroy some stuff, whatever. But they will start attacking with me as I start attacking forward, and you can see them kind of coming out and doing so.
Marshal
But
Rainer.
again, they're going to have an issue with
here.
target acquisition.
We're with you, Raiders!
They are going to start just attacking whatever's in front of them, whether it's efficient to attack or not.
This is a restricted area.
Don't die, guys.
You
So
insurgents
here, you
are
can
under
see them
arrest.
attacking Marines, very helpful.
We got your
Again, I'm
back,
trying to
Rainer.
push Rainer forward so he eats a lot of that damage because he's got 200 damage to spare. You can see they're attacking the statues, and these guys are just going to be scattered attacking the statues. I'm still going to run down. But here, those are 4 units that I might have been able to use more efficiently. Yeah, I'm going to focus fire those guys as well. And now attack the final base. But again, each level is precisely like this, where it's just kind of a little puzzle. It's trying to show you something. Hopefully you guys found this entertaining and you'll watch in the future, and hopefully you show your friends, show everybody, just so you can understand some of the basics. And the next time you're kind of looking at, hey, you got all of them. And the next time you kind of look at this, did I save 59 to 61 civilians liberated? Oh yeah. Too short, but whatever. But hopefully in the future, yeah, when you're looking at a professional game, you'll have a little bit more of an idea what to look for, things along those lines, and hopefully helped you kind of learn a little bit more about the game at large. Thank you for listening. Any suggestions, greatly appreciated. Again, subscribe if you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening.